pretty freaking badass. And yeah, I think we're all excited, but it's not going to be cheap. What did you guess earlier, Delirious? Maybe 3 million?
I reckon up to. I don't think it'll be over. I think it'll be 2.8, something like that. All right, I swear that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. If it's anything under that, then we're good. We're good.
Man, it's going to take so much time to save up for it, but it's certainly pretty mind-blowing looking. It might be the new best car in the game. But we have some competitors. We're going to break down the top 5. We really want to hear from you guys. What are your top 5 cars, or at least your favorite car in this case, in the game, my friends? Alright, so let's head over to the garage because I believe we have a Zentorno in there, so at least we can drive around in that one, do a little test drive as we check this out. So coming in at number 5 is going to be the armored Kuruma. So
Yes.
this one maybe not as expensive as the rest. It comes in at 525,000, but it has its benefits. Delirious. It's a good all-around car for people trying to brave the very vicious landscape of GTA Online.
Yes, it's obviously, again, bulletproof. So let's start with that. The window size is severely reduced at the front. So obviously whoever's shooting's got to get it through the panel in the middle there and nowhere else. So it seriously reduces the chance of you getting shot. So that's a good one. Obviously they can use it in heist, they can use it in various jobs, and it saves a lot of aggro. And it looks pretty cool. It's reasonably fast. It's reasonably, handles pretty reasonably as well. It's a good kind of all-rounder, but it's bulletproof too, so it gives you a little bit of advantage over everybody in a normal vehicle.
Ah, man, look at it, guys. It's pretty glorious looking. Looks like we got somebody doing some trolling with it as well. Multi-uses in GTA Online. And probably a pretty damn good bet if you don't want to spend a ton of money. I mean, 525 grand. You can definitely make that over the weekend if you grind good enough. And it's pretty much just as good as any car when you take into account that it is armored. That's certainly a pretty big bonus. What do you guys think about the armored Kuruma? We already have someone coming in with the Nero as the best. Here's someone saying the Buffalo. I like the Buffalo. Bubble and Panda saying the Nero Custom is my go-to. If you want something cheap and fast, then the Zentorno. A lot of people already going with the Nero. Can you tell people who aren't familiar about the Nero exactly what kind of car that is?
It's the Truffade Nero. It is the Truffade Adder replacement. So you can see it looks like the Veyron still, same sort of idea. It is pretty sweet, I will say that. It looks good. It's bloody fast as well. And yeah, it's a really nice car. And is something that I will be getting. It's not cheap. It's about 1.4 million, as I remember. But then it's also a Benny's car, so you could expect to spend probably another million on it from there. So realistically, it's a 2.5 million upgraded car, if you know what I mean. But it's lovely. It is a very nice car to have.
Definitely look out for that one, guys. The Nero, unfortunately, it did not make our list, which shows you that we have a pretty exclusive list. If not even the Nero or even the Adder, none of the Bugattis can get on here. So number 4, guys, we have. This one's interesting for all you mafioso types out there. Oh, hold on, the wrong one there. Here it is. The Roosevelt Valor. Yes, the Albany Roosevelt Valor. Straight mafioso style, as I mentioned, my friends. And yeah, another one that's certainly going to be pricey, $982,000. And it's not quite a supercar, but I think it's worth every penny, Delirious.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I love it. I've got a soft spot for these type of cars. I had the original one when it came out year 1 with the Valentine's update. And at the time, obviously, it was the rarest car in the game, so I was always very proud of it. And I like what you can do with it. Yes, all right, it's not the fastest, obviously, but it looks amazing. I love it. The new one obviously came out not so long back, so you now have a choice of two. They look great. You know, all sorts of fancy running boards with this one. It does a lot more than the original, and they're relatively bulletproof. You can pretty much ramp it into anything, and it makes very little difference. It doesn't even damage.
See,
it
that's
doesn't damage
a
or anything.
benefit.
It's great.
All right, so then which one could take more damage then? Would you prefer the Kuruma, which is armored, or, you know, obviously we got the tank Roosevelt Valor here?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Kuruma, it kind of depends on what you're going to do, isn't it? I mean, the Kuruma, you can go smash through the shop wall and then kill everybody in there and no one's going to get a shot off. With this, you know, it's very much, you know, you bear in mind that your characters can hang off the side of this car as well, which is the other thing that I love about it. So you can have 4 people in it and you can have 2 people hanging off the side of it as well. So, and it just looks great, you know. So for visual effect, the Roosevelt all day.
Okay, we have MLG Gaming coming in saying that the ramp car is his favorite. We didn't put that one on the list. Is that what it's officially called, the ramp car?
No, it's called, I can't think what it's called off the top of my head. It's an interesting one, the ramp car, if you want to call it that. And it is literally a ramp with wheels on it. And of course, you can just go flying through and literally just bounce all the other cars out the way. So it's quite cool in that respect, but it's not technically a car, and I don't believe it's actually. I think you can buy it, can't you? But there's some drawback to having it. I'm not too sure what it is because I don't actually have that one.
Really? All right. We got some people talking about the X80. I've never heard of that one.
I don't know what that one is.
Number 3, we have the. Let me make sure. There we go. It is this one right here. The Progen T20. Yes, this is a true classic for all you GTA Online fans. I'm sure you're very familiar with it. And I think this one might not be the most obvious choice, but it really is truly one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love it. I have one. I use it for absolutely everything. And quite frankly, I've kind of got used to it. I think sometimes you can just get overly used to a car and be able to absolutely, you know, just ramp it round any corner or anything like that. This is one of those for me. I can do most races in this one, do extremely well in this one, irrespective of what the race is. Even if it's a stunt race and you've got all the fancy stunt cars, I can usually, you know, I'm in the top 3 every time with this. All the time. So it's usually me that lets myself down. It's not the other way around. It's not down to the car. So yeah, you know, until I've got a reason to get something that's faster, I tend to use that for most of it. And because I can get it around the corner, it really does the job really well. And it looks fantastic. And it's a McLaren, for God's sake. Everybody wants that.
Hell yeah. I want to give a special shout out to Transport Gamer. Really appreciate your donation, Transport Gamer. I actually will rename that profile that we're using there on our Call of Duty live streams. Gonna name that the Transport Gunner, so appreciate that. Shout out to Big E saying X80 is the most expensive car in the game. Looks like a Batman car. Okay. David Kelly really likes the Kuruma. I know people are really fans of the Kuruma. It did make the list at number 5. And apparently subscribed to Keemstar says that he'll kill anyone in GTA Online. So, yeah, people are talking some smack here. Oh, wait a minute. Justin Kuhn loves the Roosevelt. Excellent. Good to see we have some Roosevelt fans.
It's not just me. It's not just me. I think it's amazing. I think it's a brilliant little car. And it's as far away from a supercar as you can get. And I think sometimes you just need that. You just need to put the T20 away and jump in the Roosevelt. It's great.
And definitely want to give a special shout out to anybody driving around in a Buffalo. It's kind of like an honorary mention here. As we know, it's one of Franklin's favorite cars. And it's one of those cars you can get for free on the streets. So definitely good option to get if you want to save some money. And speaking of that, guys, at number 2, we have a true classic. We have the Sultan RS. Now this one is only about $12,000 compared to the Progen T20, which is $2.2 million. But the cool thing about the Sultan RS is that the RS version is kind of secret. It's one of the most secret cars in the game. You actually have to take it to the shop and upgrade it to its fullest potential to unlock the ultimate Sultan RS. And this has to be one of the most popular cars in GTA history. It's legendary at this point.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anybody I know that hasn't either had one or has got one. And you know, they've all done the same. What we like about it is, yes, you can buy it. It's 12 grand. You know, it's no major money, but quite frankly, you can get it for free off the street, and it's just a straightforward Karen Sultan. Nothing exciting, but to drive is pretty reasonable. Even stock is pretty reasonable. You know, it's not a supercar, but as a car, it's good. It gets you around. If you're just starting in GTA Online, it's perfect. And then once you've got yourself a couple of quid, you can take it down to Los Santos Customs. You can then tart it up, and it turns it into a Karen Sultan RS. And you get fancy interior, you know, it gets different badges on the outside. It completely changed the way that the car is. And you could use that car from that point on forever. You know, you don't need to do any more to it. It ticks every box. It's fantastic. It looks great. And, you know, I personally, I love it. I think it's a great car. But then as an added bonus, now it is a Benny's vehicle too. So you can now, again, chuck a secondary set of updates and upgrades on it. Yes, it's expensive, but it brings it right up to date. And then it becomes super fast.
Oh,
and
man.
It is, you know, it becomes an adder killer, and, you know, various others. It really is up there with those. I'm pretty sure I flat raced one of those in the T20, and I'm pretty sure the RS beat me at one time a day. So it's got more in a straight line. I'm pretty sure it's actually faster.
MLG Gaming asking Trippy, do you think aliens are in real life? Yeah, we'll get more to that. Stay tuned.
Yes.
As far as another car that we haven't mentioned yet, Delirious, Trippy Fox mentioned the Turismo R. What do you think about that car?
Turismo R I do have. That one is very fast. It's very nice. I think it looks good. I think to get it right is you don't want to lower it, because it actually won't go over the curb of the road. It won't go onto the path. It sits down so low if you drop it right down.
That's messed up.
Again, it's a decent car. Nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful to look at. It goes like stink. It's great. It's another good one.
Yeah, definitely recommend the Turismo R, but that said, it does not make the top 5 so far, guys. We have at number 5, the Armored Kuruma. Number 4, the Albany Roosevelt Valor, classic Mafia-style car. Number 3, the Progen T20, $2.2 million car, that one is. The Karen Sultan RS, right here, you're looking at it, comes in at number 2. Very stylish car. Before we get to the number 1 car, Delirious, we have to definitely throw out some honorable mentions. I have to mention the Brawler. You know, I mean, it's certainly not your standard vehicle, but
No.
it'll get the job done for any job, you know, anything you're trying to do, really.
Yeah, give it some desert and some tight corners, and it's great. It's great for doing the stunt races that are out at Sandy Shores. Those style where you're doing a bit of both. We're doing a little bit of flat and a bit of sand, you know, and mixing between the two, and it just annihilates that stuff. Once you learn, it's a bit tricky to learn to drive it straight off, but once you've nailed it, it's a proper asset.
Now, there's that one car that they just added with the stunt races. It was like an Indy car. I was trying to think of that one too, because that's also obviously top end and probably worthy of making the top 5. Do you remember what that one's called?
The one that came with the stunt races is the hang on.
I forgot it. I was looking at it too. But you know what I'm saying. That one obviously deserves to make it, as well as the Jester. You know, there's certainly a few that we can name off that are, I mean, just as impressive as any. It's kind of cool, the selection we have.
Yeah, I mean, if you go right back to the beginning, I think you had, I mean, everybody wanted an adder because that was the most expensive at the time. That was a $1 million motor, and everybody wanted that one. For me personally, I think I spent most of my certainly early life in GTA in an Entity XF, which I thought was lush. I liked it, and that's based on a Koenigsegg, as I remember. and I love that car. I think it was brilliant. I still have them, to be fair, but it's good. Yeah, the Anis RE7B, Big E, he's got it. That's the one we were talking about.
There it is. Appreciate that. The Rocket Voltic. Oh man, that might be for another list here. And yeah, appreciate all of you guys once again joining up for the live stream as we cover the top 5 best cars in GTA Online, guys. This is definitely going to be a pretty good car to actually make it to the #1 spot. Delirious, I have a feeling that we might have to come back with like a top 5 bikes, something along that nature. Maybe even top 5 military vehicles along the line. I think there's too many choices in GTA Online. Even though we're going over the top 5 cars, doesn't necessarily mean that should be where you spend your money on if you're looking to purchase a vehicle.
Yeah, no, and I think you've also got the top 5 most useless vehicles in Grand Theft Auto 5, which has got to be one that we can do.
Oh yeah, top 5 most useless vehicles in Grand Theft Auto 5.
I can definitely give you 5 of them.
Is the scooter available in GTA Online? I don't see too many people with the scooter.
There's all sorts of stuff.
Oh man. All right, guys, it's time. Let's go ahead and break out the #1 car in GTA Online. Are you guys ready for it? It is the Mini Cooper. Yes, the Mini Cooper. Delirious, you have so many of them, and it always gets the job done.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, it's a beautiful little thing, isn't it? It goes around every corner, really very fast, and it's great. It's it's the stuff. Look at that, Blake Alexander saying the rat truck or the slam van.
Slam van, yeah, that's a good
slam van. The slam van looks good. The problem with the slam van is it has 0 brakes. 0 brakes.
0 brakes is a problem. Yeah. Megan Elizabeth saying the T20 is her favorite. That came in at #3, Megan. Bubbling Panda, guessing maybe the LG Custom. All right. #1 is going to be, wait for it, the Grotti X80 Proto. Yes. The X80. Shout out to all of you guys who successfully guessed the X80, but it does make the #1 on the list. I feel like it's certainly head and shoulders over pretty much every car in the game. It can be yours for a mere $2.7 million, guys. So wow. Start saving up.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. It is missing a bat symbol, I don't have one personally because I have a tiny little gripe with the way that it sounds. So I'm not gonna say I have it. I don't. But other than that, it's absolutely astonishing. I think if it's not the fastest, I'm pretty sure it is the fastest. But if it's not, it's not far off. And it looks stunning. Give it the right paint job, you can nail anybody. Once you learn how to drive that car, you can nail absolutely everybody in that car.
It's definitely a pretty smoking fast car, of course. Delirious is absolutely right. It looks like the motherfucking Batmobile. And I think it's just a total package, Of course, it is the most expensive car, so there's a reason why it's the #1. But you got to give them huge credit. Love that Rockstar's putting this kind of thing into the game. And with this new car, once again, we'll show it off right here, the upcoming GP1. Of course, also a supercar from the looks of it here. I think that this one might be the one to take out the current #1. Of course, the Grotti X80 Proto, guys. Let us know what you think is going to be nicer. Definitely pretty badass looking. Even the car that Michael has right here, you guys can see this is the Pegassi Zentorno. Many people still like this one over all the other cars, and this one's not as expensive as the others, but it's just awesome how you have so much of a selection in GTA Online. It's pretty fucking epic. Subscribe to Keemstar saying, I've got $19 million in GTA Online and I will never buy that junk. What do you think? Does he have possibly an argument that It is junk, guys. What do you think, Delirious? Here it is one more time. Do you think that the Proto is a piece of junk?
No, it's not, and it's super popular too. You know what I mean? So there would be a lot of people to contradict. I mean, at the end of the day, it's down to preference. You know, I have a Zentor, and I'm perfectly happy with that Zentor. No, it ticks every box. I have the T20, and that ticks every other box as well. So between the two, I kind of have it covered. And you know, I've not gone to get you know, the higher up one. I didn't get that one because I didn't feel like it did anything my T20 didn't do. All right, it's a tiny little bit faster, but for me, I've not had to do it. But you know, most people will look at that and go straight off the way that it looks. It's like, oh my good God, you know, you want to get the bat suit on and get in there, and you know, and fair play. You know, I absolutely think it's a stonking car. It's absolutely brilliant, but you know, it's definitely not junk by any means.
Casey Vallo saying that the Zentorno is the shit. Yeah, Zentorno is definitely pretty nice. Well said there, Casey Vallo. So once again, guys, number 5, the Armored Kuruma. Number 4, the Roosevelt Valor. Number 3, the Progen T20. Number 2, the Sultan RS. And you guys can see it on the screen here. Number 1, the Grotti X80 Proto. And those are just a taste of some of the nicest things you can buy in GTA Online. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but at least you can buy some exotic stuff. JT Max saying, I'm just broke and can't buy much. Trippy Dagger saying, definitely the best paint scheme on there. And Warren Richards saying, nice whips shown. Hey, that's the nicest of the nice. Subscribe to Keemstar. Yeah, I guess he's saying that he hasn't seen an X80 in a while. That's probably because it's so damn expensive. I mean, come on. Not everybody... If you can afford an X80, then, you know, like, why not, right? You gotta take it for a spin. You gotta own the nicest car possible, right? So what are you looking to purchase here, Delirious? I know you just recently purchased a Hydra.
I did.
Any cars that you got your eye on?
There's this PROGEN GP1, to be fair, because of the doors. I'm a bit of a sucker for that style of door. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, that ticks a lot of boxes for me. So even if, quite frankly, even if that actually turns out to be slower than what we've already got, then I'm still going to buy it because that looks great. I can see exactly what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, I can definitely see that. On a side note, I noticed that a couple of people were saying that they were skint. Let's see, Jonathan Nosal, I am broke in GTA Online. Warren Richards, JT Max, all have said the same things.
Yeah.
So there you go. Get yourself out and find yourself a Karen Sultan and slowly do it up like we've suggested. And that's the best way to start if you've got very little money. Mm-hmm. And yeah, take the trippy tip. There you go.
I mean, it's number 2, so it's still pretty solid. You just got to work it up a little bit. That's all.
Absolutely, but it's definitely worth it, and you won't regret it. Not at all. Not at all.
No, absolutely not. And then while you're doing that, you can even save up for another car. Possibly, I would say the Roosevelt Valor is a good option at $982,000. It's certainly expensive, but once you have that thing properly primed up to the fullest with a great paint job, it's going to be so fly. You'll have the nicest car on the road. Many people's eyes. Warren Richards, all I can buy in GTA Online is one grenade. Oh, man. What do you suggest here? I mean, as we mentioned earlier, it is a special event in GTA Online, and I know a lot of people are looking for some cash. These cars are amazing. People need money to buy them. I mean, do you just think that they should jump into these double XP events for the weekend?
Yes, absolutely. If you've got, irrespective of, how you may feel about a certain set of adversary modes, contact missions, what have you, the double XP stuff is getting more and more, common. The boys that I go on with are very good at going on and doing the double XP stuff first, and you're going to get double if you get something like, especially if rarities are contact missions. They do them double every once in a blue moon. When they come on, you definitely want to do them, because if they average out around about 20,000, you're going to get 40. you know, so that's a big lump in one go. But as the norm right now, you want to stay away from things like races, unless they're double XP. At the moment, it's stunt races, so you know they're worth going on definitely because they pay more anyway. But they're going to make you more. Your contact missions are the thing to probably grind if you're going to do anything like that. And then I believe out of the CEO and biker missions, it's the biker missions that you can make more money from as a day-to-day type of thing. So I would suggest biker missions, contact missions. But for this weekend, get yourself some stunt races as well because they are double XP and double money.
Ian Curtis saying the Sultan is awesome. Another one we mentioned earlier, guys, the Buffalo, just like the Sultan, you can pick that up free in GTA Online. Upgrade that as you will. What about for a muscle car, Delirious? We really haven't talked about anybody, you know, who's looking for a muscle car. There's got to be a couple out there that are just as good as all these modern era cars as well.
I think the most popular one is the Dominator, which can be souped up and is pretty good for the racing when you're in the muscle class.
What about the Dukes? Is that, I mean, the Dukes is pretty good. Does that classify?
Well, the Dukes is the Dukes looks good. Let's face it, that car gets painted orange and everybody goes around going yeehaw. Don't they? That's essentially what that's for. It's not particularly fast. It's not particularly good around corners. So for a racer, it's not great, but it looks great. You know, you can pop your flag on the top. You can race it around. It looks really nice. So it's a nice car to have. Not brilliant for the races. But then, what the hell? Sometimes it's just about the car itself. I personally like the Phoenix. That's totally arse happy, but it sounds good. It looks great, and it takes me back to the 70s. It's lovely. So I like it.
Yeah, that one's definitely nice. Always good to have those cars that are really loud and just has that muscle car feel to it compared to these cars, which almost look like they're out of the Jetsons. Once again, guys, let us know what you think are the nicest cars in GTA Online. There's a huge selection, so certainly everybody's going to have their own favorites. Hit up in the comment section below. Let us know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like button as well. That really helps out the live stream. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll have a link in the description to all of our channels and stuff, as we will be trying to try out these cars, you know, maybe a little test drive action as much as possible, especially with the brand new car coming out. Delirious, with you saying that the new car, I'll put it on the screen one more time for you guys, hopefully I don't crash.
Yep.
You think that it's going to be possibly up to $3 million.
Yeah.
And the most expensive car now is $2.7 million. I mean, then it sounds like you think that this could very well be the best car, possibly, you know, about to be added into Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah, it's been a while, I think, since they put in a good, you know, I suppose the Proto was the last good supercar. And they've put plenty of other cars in, but they've not been like this style. That, I don't know, something about that just screams, A, expensive. It could be the fact that it's gold, I don't know, but
yeah, exactly, right? Gold plated.
Expensive. Yeah, the doors again, the gullwing doors, the whole, you know, I can't believe that's going to be the 3. It's going to be around 3, I'm sure of it. It's certainly if it's a super and not a sports. If it's definitely a super and it goes like it looks, it's got to be 2.8. I'm gonna put it down at.
Yeah, and there you have it, guys. The brand new car, the new kid on the town here. Looks pretty sweet. Probably the next epic car to be added to Grand Theft Auto Online, guys. And then we broke down the top 5 cars available. We'll see if Rockstar gets creative, because I'm ready for what we have. Maybe flying cars, jetpacks, who knows what. As many cars as they've given us, we could use some variety, some other type of vehicles as well.
Yes.
But once again, thank you guys so much for joining. Really appreciate it. We hope you all have a great weekend. Make sure to tune in. We'll have some more live streams coming up for you guys. And of course, we will continue our GTA 5 playthrough that we're doing here at the channel as well. On Monday, we're also going to return with a huge gaming update for you guys. So definitely tune in for that. Delirious, man, there's so much to do in GTA Online. The vehicles are really only the half of it. And yeah, it makes you really wonder. GTA 6, you know, are they ever going to be able to top what they've accomplished here in GTA Online, man? It's pretty nuts.
It could be, like you say, maybe we'll end up with flying cars. You never know. It kind of depends on when they base it. But it could be anything, really. It could be anything. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously the real cars are forever coming out. They're forever evolving. So they've always got something new to make. So, you know, the worst car here, the best car here could be the worst car there, for what's going to be coming next. And obviously we're talking better graphics, better setup, better everything, rewrite of the game, obviously. So a lot of the bits and pieces will be completely different. It's going to be, I feel certain that GTA 6 will give us everything we've been missing in the last couple. I just have this feeling that with the new capabilities, everything we want is going to be in this game. And yes, I know that's hype and I know that's high expectations, but I really do think that GTA 6 will be the one that we've been waiting for.
Oh, hell yeah. Unfortunately, we still have to go through the entirety of Red Dead Redemption 2, guys. I mean,
Yes.
certainly a lot to look forward to, and I'm sure a lot more to come in GTA Online. Obviously, we will cover it all and update you guys along the way. Have a great weekend, Delirious. We hope you definitely have some epic live streams coming up for us on your channel. I know you're working on the, the Lost and the Damned Grand Theft Auto 4 playthrough, man. That's a pretty epic DLC. I wish they would add one of those to GTA 5, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, this is it. Well, the moment the playthroughs are Grand Theft Auto 4 itself, Grand Theft Auto, The Lost and the Damned, and we're just about to look into Red Dead, the Undead Nightmare. So that should be coming this weekend at some point. We do have a little announcement for tomorrow, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to have a huge Red Dead Redemption event for you guys tomorrow, a live stream online event. If you guys are on the Xbox One and you have Red Dead Redemption, I highly recommend you join up with us as we will be doing some pretty crazy shit in the Wild West. Horseback, Delirious will have his donkey and his six-shooter, and we will we'll take over some hideouts and maybe some fellow cowboys and cowgirls that we find out in the open desert. Delirious, it's going to be epic.
Yes, it will, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. We were supposed to do it last week, but we weren't for unforeseen circumstances. But this week we're on. So if you're about, then join up. It's going to be absolutely epic as hell.
Absolutely, guys. Can't wait for that. Shout out to Corey Johnson saying the Gauntlet is the best muscle car. Keela Cobster, appreciate you joining up, Keela, as well as M. Gamble, Captain Shark, and Nefritz Kiva, C. Figgle as well, Nick Kenez. All you guys, man, have a great weekend. Make sure to stay tuned here to Trippy Commentaries. But more importantly, as always, make sure to stay trippy, my friends.